In this video, I'm going to build on top of the last two videos where I read in data from a CSV file. So the difference in this video is that I'm going to actually also write out to an output stream and write to a file. This video will show you the power of streams also, because what we're going to do is simultaneously read from one buffer and from one input stream and write to another buffer, another output stream. So this program, it's going to read in data from a stream, it's going to process it and change it, and then we're going to write out to another stream. So first off, same as before, we're doing system.getProperty userdir, and that'll resolve to this week 9 directory here. And we're going to resolve datasets. That's this average daily traffic count CSV file. I got this off of data.gov. It's just some random CSV file that I don't really care what's in it. I'm just trying to use it as an example. I'm going to resolve another file, and this file is going to be next to it. So I'm doing file.resolve sibling, and I'm just going to call it copy of this, and we're going to write to this file. So we're going to simultaneously open this file for reading and open this other file for writing. It's going to be all done together inside of this while loop down here. So let's go ahead and toggle a breakpoint, and let's run this project run this class in debug mode. I'm going to switch back to the other workspace so I can see the whole code, and I'm going to hit F. Whoops. I'm not actually sure what's going on here. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to hit F6 and go to the next line. Let's jump back to this view and keep going to the next line. So now we have this file open for reading, or we have this file open, we know it exists, and I'm going to say I'm going to copy this file from and copy to here. So it's going to be just next to it in datasets, and here's where we're going to write this file to. And you can see currently the file does not exist. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do, like before in the other videos, we have a file that's a file path. We're going to convert it to a file, and we're going to pass that into FileReader. And FileReader we're going to then pass into BufferedReader. And all of these can throw exceptions, especially if the file doesn't exist, so I'm just throwing the exception rather than writing the try-catch block. So first we're going to have a reader, and then we're also going to have a writer. I'm going to say to write to file and FileWriter, and then we're going to have a BufferedWriter. So again, we're wrapping a FileWriter and a BufferedWriter, and what's really happening underneath the hood here is we've got an input stream we're collecting data from, and we've got an output stream that we're going to write data to. So moving on down farther in the application, we have a count. I'm just going to use this to count to the total number of lines that we process, and I'm going to prime the reader by reading a line. And the way this is going to work, I'm just going to read from the reader this input stream, and I'm going to read until there's nothing more to read, when my line is null. And when that happens, I'll be done. So the first line is going to be the header file, or the header line, and immediately we're going to say we're going to uppercase this line, right? So we have this line, and then I'm going to convert it to uppercase. So I have read the data in and now have transformed it to uppercase, and I'm going to write this uppercase data into the writer. So I write and then I flush, so I make sure the buffer is flushed. And if I refresh at this point, I should actually see this file created on the file system. Yes. So, and if I open this with my text editor, I should see I actually have this file written, and I wrote that line to it. So now I haven't even read the entire file into memory. I've only read one line, and I've already written one line. So now you can see this is efficient because I can do this one line at a time. We're going to go on to the next line and keep going. I'll write a few more lines. You can see my reader keeps reading lines, and I'm just reading in more data from that CSV file, and I'm converting it to uppercase and writing it. And our copy of traffic counts here, it should have this uppercase data written. And our original one is still lowercase, and we're just reading data from it slowly. I'm going to hit continue here, and what is going to happen is it's going to finish reading all of the lines and writing them. The reader is going to close and the writer is going to close, and we'll print out this. So I'm going to hit continue, and just you can see how quick it just completely processed all the rest of the one file and wrote it all into the other file. And so let's go ahead and open traffic counts, the copy of file, and you'll see all of those files were written, or all of those lines were written in that file, and they were all converted into uppercase. So this was an example of simultaneously reading from one stream and writing to another stream using FileReader and FileWriter. And for both of those, we wrapped them in BufferedReader and BufferedWriter so we could write chunks at a time rather than individual character data. So that was more efficient to do that way. All right, that's all I have.